the seed funding stage is when the Chennai Angels got involved. So how has that journey been, and what impact did their advent make on the company in terms of people, alliances, model, structure, etc.?
Till that time, first of all, we were bootstrapping. The founders we were investing whatever we could, and we had already developed the products for leather, and we had also developed the products for textile, but we were yet to acquire customers in the textile industry. We had also developed the consumer cleaning products at that point in time, and so the three of us decided that if we don't bring in more funds into the company, we would be doing a disservice to this technology, because the whole idea was to grow it and make it available to as many people as possible in the world. So without resources, it is not possible. Through a common friend, we were told that we could approach Chennai Angels. It was such a democratic process. We were told, just go to the website, make an application, and if your value proposition is interesting, you will definitely be called and talked to. That is exactly what happened. It took a few months, but that is when Sam came into the picture. One of the challenges with Proklean is that many people don't understand exactly what we do. Because it has not been done before. The funding was concluded and the money came into the company, which helped us to set up a dedicated facility for manufacturing, hire people, and they also helped us to fine-tune the business model. When we went to them, we had this idea that we should develop the consumer products as well as the B2B products. And it was an important input and decision making at that point in time, that working with consumer products for a startup with limited resources may not be a great idea. So we put the consumer products in cold store, and we focused on the industrial products. Yeah, so it was Chennai Angels coming and investing in Proklean was a turning point for Proklean.
Yeah. So Sam, it was in 2012, was it, Doc?
Yes, 2012.
Yeah. So all those years ago, but I'm sure you still remember it very well. Tell us what your thoughts were at that time.
So this was early in my Chennai Angels life. I'd just been on the board for about 4 months before that. I get a call from some of the others saying, hey, we got this company. None of us really understand it. Look at it. They've got some high claims, but it's a very interesting theme. And it came from one of our dear friends, from one of the TVS family members. Mm-hmm. So it was a pretty strong reference. It was, I still remember, an office next to the old Woodlands. Came for the first time, and sitting down with 3 senior people is never easy, because you kind of wonder what will come out, what direction it moves in. But I think what they had going for them is this was actually something quite unusual. They were lucky, and luck plays a big role in any funding decision, because in this specific case, I'd actually worked in one of my early years on a surfactant plant. And therefore, I knew the concept of surfactants, which is what they're substituting to a large extent. Chemicals, they substitute a petrochemical-based surfactants. And understanding the tech is one thing. Understanding what somebody is trying to sell you, is this Kool-Aid or is this real aid, is not an easy thing to figure out. And I think the first meeting was more trying to get an understanding and grasp of the technology. My big aha moment probably came in the 3rd or 4th meeting with the team. And that was when it became apparent that even though it was a senior team, it was a very strong coachable team, because that's the challenge with slightly more senior entrepreneurs, how mentorable or how set in the ways they were. And I think I have to give full credit to Doc, so Shivram, Chandran and Vishy from the first meeting, and the first ones were more Shivram and Chandran. I think they talked to you like they would talk to their peers. They weren't talking down. They weren't talking to an alien. I think that helped. The second thing that was for me an aha moment is the valuation discussion. So when the first time they came to the Chennai Angels, they had quite a high number in mind. And just like most entrepreneurs, I think at the time, there were newspapers that were talking about the heavy days of entrepreneurship success. How many millions of dollars companies had raised. Thankfully, the team didn't come and show me any newspaper cuttings. I've had that. Shivram came and said, look, we've done a very extensive analysis on the market. We've run a discount cash flow model at the time. And I was there going, that's good. But what we realize is that is once you give them money and you help them, that they realize value. The first impression wasn't the first day. It was probably by the third meeting, the big ahas in this team were, they've got a great tech. They're a great team. A bit old, so a bit worrying as well, but a great team. The amount of energy Shivram shows is rarer in younger entrepreneurs. And he's very passionate about what he does, and so are Chandran and Vishy. So I think this was a good team. And a lot of the time in an Indian company, based on my experience, you get a one-man lead, what we call key man risk. Right? So there is a key person who has an idea. That person is a disproportionate decision maker, leader. Everyone only listens to him in the company. It's their way or the highway. Yes, they might camouflage it to showcase to an investor that there are teams, but the factory visit was eye-opening for me, because that was one where I think Chandran was clearly the lead in the ecosystem. And I think it was that combination of those first 3-4 meetings that culminated in a factory visit that set me very clearly that yes, we have to back it. It's not mince words. I think no matter what, this was a highly educated, skillful team. It was a proven team in different businesses. Yes, it had components of which weren't perfect. We don't have a chemical engineer on what I joke about it, a chemical engineering company. So they went and got one from the board, and that's me, I guess.